So, after a wonderful 2 weeks in New York City, I flew to the West Coast to sunny Los Angeles. It's a city of sun, shopping and celebrities with award winners everywhere you look. I even ran into a Grammy Award winner, randomly, at a party. Now I'm in LA, I've got to ask you lady, is this like, am I going to get shot for wearing this?
No, I'll protect you.
You will?
I love this. I love this.
This beautiful lady sitting next to me is, of course, Sirah. Now, I'm actually really excited to break her to Australia because this lady over here has won a Grammy Award. She's got a new EP out. I can't wait to share her story with you. Sirah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for joining me.
Now, about the New York
And
hat.
thank you for the New York hat because I really respect and appreciate that. You won't get, like, shot or killed in LA unless you wore, like, a full red outfit in the wrong neighborhood, so you're fine.
A red outfit?
Or a blue one, depending on where you're at.
Really? Is it like the Spanish bull thing? Like, you know how bulls see red?
You are adorable. No, I wish it was. That'd be so tight if that's what we had to worry about. I'm like, bro, the bulls are out. I gotta stay home. Gotta really tone it down.
Sirah, the vibrant artist hailing from New York, has released a series of tracks.
Lost to the railings of my deals and how I will them. Sign with a major side. Your soul is a major price. Maybe you consider caught if you're lucky. Take a chance, roll the dice. Need the money. Hold my old fans ran that I sold out.
But the most fascinating feature of Sirah isn't the fact that she's won a Grammy, but it's actually the unique story that got her on the journey there. Well, speaking of gangs, I mean, you've had a pretty interesting childhood. Now, I read up on you just before I interviewed you. You sent me some links, and I was blown away at the journey that you had. I mean, you grew up in New York.
Yes.
And you came from a broken family, then you went to live with your dad in the jungle. Are there jungles in New York that aren't made out of concrete?
Well, there actually are the jungles.
Yeah.
And then, no, we went to, like, a forest in, we went to a forest in Washington State at one point.
Really?
Yeah, my parents, my dad and my stepmom were hippies, like, hardcore. So we lived, like, in a trailer in the forest.
Wow.
Yeah. I grew up with, like, a medicine man and, like, chanting and nudists, so.
Nudists?
No big deal. Standard. Everybody's been there, right? You know?
And medicine man, chanting I can relate to because I meditate too and we chant a lot in Sanskrit.
I meditate. I love chanting.
Nudist too? Did you, like, partake in that as
No,
well?
no. You know what? I feel like since a very young age, I've been very, like, self-aware. Not, like, body conscious, but just self-aware, you know? I'm like, this is weird. Thank God for that. I don't know how I figured it out, but I was like, yeah, this is pretty weird. So I didn't partake in the nudity. My parents, unfortunately, did. My dad and my stepmom.
Wow, so you woke up to lots of nudity?
I saw a lot of things, you know? It was a very dark time. I always feel like, and this is going to sound terrible, but I don't care. It's like the people that shouldn't be nude want to be nude the most. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yeah, you shouldn't be nude right now. It's very intense.
It always happens that way, isn't it?
Yeah, you know? Story of my life. Story of my life.
I read too that when you were living in the forest, like,
oh yeah,
you had to survive on, was it raccoon meat?
Yes. Well, different things, but like they were very much like about, you know, like indigenous culture, like Native Americans, which I think is derogatory, but I don't know. So indigenous culture. So like me and my stepmom are driving down the road one day and she hit a raccoon. So then we pick it up, take it, skin it, make a drum out of it, use its teeth for a necklace, and eat it for dinner.
Wow.
Also very normal, you know?
Well, because you are of the belief that if you do kill something that is living,
use it all, yes.
So you don't waste the actual body or the flesh of that living thing. Wow.
Exactly. So it's not necessarily, I mean, it's just very conscious. Like, if you're going to take something in any fashion, you have to completely, you know, use it up and make sure that you're, like, you know, commemorating its life in a way.
That is insane.
That's why I think it's like, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
A little too far.
Yeah.
Raccoon is a little tough. It's a little tough meat.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
I think, because there's so much waste nowadays with everything.
Absolutely. When I said it was insane, I was in reference to the fact that, you know, you grew up in that environment and then you went over to, I guess, you said, I read something that your mum said that you had more of a voice for rapping than singing.
Yeah.
So your mum was like, you're better at the rapping.
Yeah, my mom's like, oh, you're singing. Oh. And I mean, I grew up rapping because then after the forest, my little escapade in the jungles, I went to the actual jungles. But I lived in Queens, so like I feel like everyone in New York raps at some point in their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a rite of passage. You just come out the womb and
like a sacrament. Like, oh yeah, you get baptized, and you learned how to rap.
Exactly.
And you learn how to join a gang. And then you wear the New York caps.
Standard and Timberlands.
Yeah.
Or
Timberlands.
What?
Steel caps.
Steel caps.
Steel
caps. I'm wearing my steel caps right now.
Well, when you moved to New York, you bought a Jeep, I believe, and you wanted to live. You lived in there pretty much.
I actually, when I moved to LA, because I've been on my own since I was like 15. So eventually, I got a car, and so I lived in it in Los Angeles, and that was like a while. And then I lived at the Union Station in downtown LA. And then I got like my first apartment, and it was a garage in East LA, which is still the hood. And it was like, not like, you know how people redo garages and they're beautiful and you're like, what? It was not, it was like, there was holes in the ceiling, so I'd wake up, they were doing construction next door, and I'd have like sawdust on my face, and I was sleeping next to an actual car. It was an interesting time.
You rented out that garage?
Yeah, I actually paid money to live in that. Like, I have no idea why.
Seems like a step down from the luxury of your Jeep.
You know, it was, honestly. I'm like, what? That had leather. This is rough. But, you know, it's all perspective. I was like, oh, it's like living on in a cabin on a lake. And everyone's like, nuts. Like, living in a garage in East LA. It's not. No.
Keep up to date with Sirah by hitting up sirahmusic.com. This is Ginny signing off from Bent TV.